Hello and welcome to Blue Army TV. I'm sitting here with Carlisle. I've just announced Mark Hughes will be staying as manager of Carlisle United. Elephant in the room. It isn't. It's not just after the event of Hughes staying. It's admittedly quite a while after, and I can only apologise for not bringing this video out a bit sooner. Yeah, that one's on me. I remember somebody asked on Twitter when this video will be coming out, and I said the next day. That's nearly a week ago now. But in my defence, it's been a busy couple of weeks. But look, it's a video that I imagine won't be very long, because it was kind of what was expected. Anyways, it's Hughes staying at the club, and almost a bit of a mystery about the circumstances. Because look, there's a lot of questions left unanswered by this. One, why did it take so long for this to get announced? Maybe there was issues with getting a director of football in first, I don't know. How long is the contract? Because that hasn't been announced either. All we know is that he's staying for this season. I don't know if it's another rolling contract. I'm assuming that's what it is, which, again, I'm not really a big fan of. Or is it a kind of 2-3 year deal like we gave Simpson? It's an odd one, because I don't know how long he's here to stay. The details of the contract haven't been released, like with most other every other kind of manager we've had up until this point. We all know at least how long they're going to be here for. We don't know that at the minute with Mark Hughes. Is it the right decision? I think so. If only just because I think it's a bit of continuity. He's managed to get a tune out of this team in at least the last 5-6 weeks before the relegation, before the season finished. And yeah, it's. I'm glad he's here, because the big difference between him and Mike Williamson isn't even the style of football, although that has changed. The biggest difference for me has been the kind of interaction with fans and the kind of connection made with the fan base, which Mark Hughes, massive, absolutely massive compared to Mike Williamson. Mike Williamson from day one, I think, was very distant, very disengaged, very kind of separate from the fan base, whereas Mark Hughes really isn't that. He's very, very engaged, and never once did we hear any, Mike Williamson, Blue White Army, and we heard that almost from day one with Mark Hughes, and he spoke so positively about us, and, if you're gonna get the kind of fan base on side, flattery is always a great way to do that, to say how fantastic the fans have been, which I don't think ever left the mouth of Mike Williamson. He spent most of that time kind of telling us we need to be more patient and that he was a brilliant manager. Mark Hughes has been very understanding with us, and he's been very open with us about what he's there for, what he aims to do, what he feels, and at the same time he's also, let it be known how impacted he is by the fans, and you can see that in especially his last interview when he was first, when we first got relegated, or even the week after that when they did that kind of lap around the pitch, and there's a bit of controversy about whether the Blues fans should have applauded the players. I didn't, but something I did join in with, and what the whole ground did was chanting Mark Hughes, Blue and White Army, and he was very emotional in that interview afterwards about how much it meant to him that the fans were very much behind him at the very least, even if not the group of players. And yeah, it's nice to see a manager care, because it felt like we were missing that with Mike Williamson. It's hard to think that Simpson also matches that, and it's weird to think that he was also in this season past gone. It just feels like so long ago that we had Paul Simpson at the club. But yeah, I think we're probably going to go, now that he's got a full pre-season and he's got a transfer window with him and the new sporting director Tierney. They're going to plan together. He's going to finally get the chance to make this team his own. He's very experienced. He's never actually been promoted, but I will point out that the reason for that is that most of his career has been spent at the top level, and you can't get promoted from the Premier League. He failed at getting Bradford promoted, but it's certainly a new challenge for him, but it's also a new challenge for us as a club getting out of this league. And I think it might be a bit optimistic to say that getting out of this league first time of asking is even achievable. I mean, look at the players we've got. Look at the players we're probably going to be stuck with. I think maybe stability in the National League this year is probably what we're going to aim for, and I think Hughes is the man to do that. Of course, he's got to say that promotion is the aim, and maybe that's what they're aiming for. But they're aiming, in my opinion, a reasonable aim this season would be maybe not them top playoff positions, but a playoff position to qualify us for the quarterfinals of the playoffs. You know, the way their system works is, I think, second and third go through to the semis. Then there's 4 more that fight for them other 2 places in the semis. So, you know, you've got kind of 2 higher ranking playoff position places in second and third. I think we're more going to be aiming for the 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th kind of places for the playoffs. I think that's how it works. I'm not, you know, I haven't had to become accustomed to these kind of systems, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. And I think the aim for this season probably has to be one of them lower down playoff positions, and just to give us a chance of coming straight back up. But yeah, I think the title's far too. It's too much of an ask. It's too much of an ask for any team in this league, by the way, because it's very possible that you can go into this season, get 100 points and not go up. I mean, look at York. They didn't go up on 90 odd points. And I mean, to achieve York's point total, we'd have to get our last 2 seasons' points total combined and then an extra 20. To think that we're now going to get potentially 100 points to win the league next season, to me, just seems absolutely mad. And that's probably what you need to win the title in this division. So for me, I think Mark Hughes, you're coming in to stabilise us, push for top half, push for them bottom end playoff positions, and just get us winning some games for once. Just get us turning the club around a little bit, turn the other direction, stop being on a free fall, push up the table a little bit. That's what his job is. That's what his job has to be. And, you know, he's in a position now where he can implement his own system, which I imagine will probably be his kind of more reliable 4-2-3-1 position. I know he changed a bit towards the back end of this season at Carlisle, but I think that was more to do with the players he had, trying to get a system that they're kind of familiar with, to try and get some results in the short term. I think longer term, if he's going to have his own team, his own system, his own pre-season, we're going to be going back to that 4-2-3-1 which he tried when he first came into the club and what he had for most of the time he was at Bradford. And I think if you can get his own players in, if you can get a system in place, I think we're going to be a very good, stable National League team in a 4-2-3-1 with Mark Hughes. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we do push for the second, third place. Maybe we do push for the title. I don't know. It's very hard to predict. It's very hard to aim for that. It's very hard to aim for 100 points because you need to be near perfect. And a lot of teams in this division, with the money they have, the experience at this level that they have, think of York. York are definitely going to be title favourites. In my opinion, it's not a rational thing to aim for first time coming back down to the National League. I think I'd love it, but you need to be a bit more reasonable. But yeah, I think Mark Hughes, if we can keep him for a while, if we can keep him building on what he's doing for maybe 2 or 3 years to finally get us back to League 2, he's the right man. And I just wish I knew more about his contract situation, because I dread to think it's a matter of, you've got a year, if you don't get us promoted, you're gone, and if you don't, we're going on to the next man. And that's not how it should be done, and that's not going to ever yield results, in my opinion. You can't just change it every year to, you know, take punts at trying to get to the top of the league. At this level, that's not how this works. But yeah, am I happy with him staying? Yes, I'm happy with him staying. Less so about some of the players he's going to have to work with, but, you know, we'll deal with that another time. And very soon, actually, because I've been thinking, and I've said a lot about how badly run this club has been, and as a kind of fan channel, I'm not hasty to even say that, because this isn't really a voice of the fans, as I've said before. It's a voice of a fan, and that's me. It's kind of my opinion put onto the internet. But saying that, I've said a lot about how the club's been badly run. It's not my job to say how it should be run, but I feel like if I'm going to criticise, I might as well give a kind of example of how I want things to be done, or how I would do things if I was in that position. Obviously, it's just a bit of fun, but I'm working on a video at the minute, how to fix Carlisle United, or, you know, how do we fix Carlisle United, something like that, the title will be. And I'm going to talk about signings I would make, things I would change behind the scenes, how I would change the way things are being run. contract situations, who I get rid of. You know, I'm going to make a video coming out soon about what I would do differently and how I would fix Carlisle United and how, the aims I would set and how I would strive to get to those aims. So that video will be coming out shortly. Maybe not tomorrow, definitely not today when this is being uploaded, because uploading 2 videos in the same day is an absolute death sentence for a YouTube channel. It does not get pushed at all. So possibly tomorrow, more likely the day after, that video is going to be coming out. But yeah, thank you for being patient and waiting for this video. As so far I'm aware, these videos are going to be continuing next season, thankfully. But yeah, let me know what you think about Mark Hughes in the comments. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and in a bit.